Good morning, Patriots. This is your American Prayer Warrior, and I bring you some positive news. This is super important to remember the positive news because Satan's tactic is to discourage us, to get us overwhelmed, to get us feeling like it's too bad, that there's no way our nation can pull out of this, and that is the lie. That is the lie that I was starting to believe these last 2 days. I wrote this material on the 3rd, and here it is, the 5th. I'm finally bringing it to you because Satan got to me. I was discouraged. I was overwhelmed. I couldn't function. I couldn't even make a video. I was so discouraged. Yeah, he got me down, and I'm back up. Thanks to my mother. Thanks to prayer. Thanks to God. I pulled out of this slump, and so I'm back on the horse again, bringing you positive news. So anyway, we are not going to let Satan win. He is not going to overwhelm us and discourage us. And yeah, so here we go. The first bit of positive news I bring to you was I got to enjoy an amazing prayer call. It's put on by Intercessors for America. They launched back when COVID started. They are on Facebook also, but they started out with just a First Friday prayer call where you could dial a number and get a code, and you'd join the call, and they would have, first it started out with where they would talk about like a specific issue, and then we would all pray about it. And it was just so inspiring. It was just so awesome. And they had speakers on and things like that. And then it turned into other things. It turned into like 24 hours a day prayer, you know. And they launched their website. They also have a Facebook page, so you can join the live stream when they pray. So you can be on the phone or you can join on Facebook Live. And it was so exciting because this on the 3rd, when they had their First Friday prayer call, they had 45 on there, and it was so amazing to pray with a former president. And I'm not saying his name because I still am on YouTube and I haven't been taken off yet because I've been so careful about what I say. So a lot of YouTubers, that's how they refer to him, to kind of not get targeted by the censorship. So yeah, it was amazing. David, who is the president of Intercessors for America, had him on. It was amazing. They also launched on the 3rd the National Faith Advisory Board, which is going to help coordinate companies and people that have influence to try to win our nation back for God, because right now Satan has taken a foothold in our country, and we can kick him out. It says in the Bible straight up that if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and ask for forgiveness, I will heal their land. And so we have this promise from God. And so, so it was really amazing. I encourage you to go on Facebook. I'm sorry, Fakebook, and look up Intercessors for America, and you can hear the live call with 45. It was amazing, and it was so encouraging. And then also, that was my first bit of positive news. And the second one is, during that call, they talked about this amazing faith-based community program that's just wrapping up. It's called Farmers to Family Program. They delivered over 17 million food boxes at the start of the pandemic. And that is literally over 486 million pounds of food, 405 million meals, with $813 million. People that had lost or were not able to go to work because of the pandemic, they were free to work and receive income from putting these food boxes together. So they not only distributed food, but they also employed people that needed employment so that they could earn money to feed their families. And so it's just amazing, and it was so encouraging to hear about this organization and the work they had done. Some of the information that was shared was about how one family kissed the food and asked if their children could eat it immediately because they had nothing to eat for days. Another lady had to drive up in a Mercedes. She was so embarrassed because she had never been on public assistance before, but for the first time in her life, she needed food. And she was just crying uncontrollably because it was embarrassing for her to drive up, with her Mercedes, knowing that it was going to look like she didn't need the food, and she knew it, but she really did. And so she humbled herself to go there and ask for food, knowing that people were possibly going to judge her by the vehicle that she was driving and not knowing her specific situation. And yeah, that was 2 stories that came out of it, of people just so grateful for what this organization had done. They received many phone calls from recipients just in tears, thanking them for the food. It was so encouraging to see the impact that this organization had during our country's time of need. And it was awesome. And then the third piece of positive news is they also interviewed Chad Robichaud. And Chad Robichaud, actually, they had a prayer call on Thursday as well about Afghanistan. And an organization called Mighty Oaks, they have literally evacuated over 30,000 people from Afghanistan that the current administration had left behind. And it was so amazing to hear Chad Robichaud come and talk about the organization Mighty Oaks and how they had helped people, allies in Afghanistan that were left behind, and the amazing miracles that happened. It was so encouraging. It was overwhelming, but it was encouraging to hear his story. So I also encourage you to go on Intercessors for America and hear his story. And the really cool part was they had, they had pre-recorded it because the schedule didn't line up. But then the really cool part was, he came on at the very end live and got to join the conversation. And it was so cool because he took the time out of his day, even though that was the day his daughter was getting married in Minneapolis, which is the same state I live in. I live in Minnesota, and he was in Minnesota, in Minneapolis. Now, I don't live in Minneapolis or anything, but it was just neat to know that he was in the same state I was, and he took the time out of his day, the day that he was walking his baby girl down the aisle, to come on a live phone call, and that shows his heart for this nation. And it was amazing to hear all of those amazing stories and encouraging words from this man. I will continue to follow this story as they continue to rescue people from Afghanistan. He's not able to tell us everything, of course, because it's an ongoing situation, and he doesn't want to jeopardize the people that are helping and the people that are trying to escape. Because if the news got out there, people's lives could be at risk. So, it was just the most encouraging thing. And to know that God is working. God is working. It looks bleak, but there's so much positive out there. And we need to focus on the positive. Otherwise, we will get discouraged. And that's what Satan wants. He wants us to get discouraged. He wants us to feel like there's nothing we can do, so we may as well just give up. And that is such a lie. That is such a lie. So please stay encouraged. I will keep making these positive videos as well as the prayer videos, because it's so important that we stay connected and that we stay positive, because God is winning. God's already won. We can't forget that. God has already won. When he died on the cross, He forever squashed Satan. Satan's just trying to take as many people with him as he can. Don't forget, Jesus already won the war. You know what I'm saying? We just want to try to get as many people into heaven along with ourselves. So anyway, don't ever forget, you too can be a prayer warrior. Have a good day. Bye-bye.